Section 21. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Although the boss in front of him is indeed a legendary boss, but he is mass-produced by the poison cult, they all drank the potion of the poison goddess and forcibly raised their strength. Such boss has a characteristic, that is, high grade, low level, low health, and low defense. Moreover, the lifespan is extremely short, and it is probably not more than a month. In terms of the number of legendary bosses, the Poison Temple is either the first or the second. However, the quality is not good. A serious legendary strongman from other temples can beat at least 100 of them. At this time, dark green smoke emerged from the boss's body. All the monsters around him have a circle of green halo under their feet. Poison Strike Halo effect. When all units attack, they will be accompanied by 2000 points of poison attribute damage. In the dark green smoke, the cold voice of the boss came out. Human, I will give you a chance to submit to us now. As long as you are loyal to the goddess, I can give you a mid-level management position. Ding Dong, Venomancer Anderson, legendary, invites you to join the Toxic Temple. He promises to give you a mid-level management position. Do you agree? Warm reminder, after joining the Toxic Temple, the power will be fixed as an evil power, and you will lose the title of the Temple of Light. Listening to the voice of the system in his ear, Yifan was also stunned. He almost laughed out loud. Mid-level management. Do you think the Toxic Temple is a great place? Leave the night of the Temple of Light and run to mix with a rotten fish and shrimp that is about to capsize? Thinking of this, Yifan remained calm and said slowly, it's not impossible to consider it. The eyes of several bosses in the Toxic Temple lit up. They could also see that Yifan's troops were quite elite. If Yifan really joined, he would definitely have a good helper. But Stephanie's followers became nervous. Yifan wouldn't really agree. Soon, Yifan showed a regretful expression, but Doris is too ugly, let's forget it. Suddenly, several bosses changed their faces and roared. Boy, you are looking for death. Dare to insult the goddess? You have lived enough. Yifan narrowed his eyes, and didn't talk nonsense with them, and directly ordered the elves to start attacking. Swish, 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 the arrows burning with fire poured out instantly. The elves' slender arms turned into countless phantoms. With the blessing of 10 times the attack speed, their attack speed was incredibly fast. In just 1 second, the health bar of the boss was more than half. Everything happened too fast, and the boss didn't expect that his health bar would disappear so quickly. His face changed suddenly, and he quickly raised the staff in his hand, trying to launch a counterattack. Under his ID, a slowly advancing progress bar appeared. Yifan was also shocked by his amazing operation. Too stupid, right? He started reading the bar in this situation. Another second passed, and under the terrifying firepower of the elves, the health bar of the boss was instantly emptied. The system's voice suddenly sounded. Ding Dong, your troops killed Venom Warlock Anderson, legendary, and gained 100 million experience points. Ding Dong, you triggered the 10,000-fold amplification system and gained 1 trillion experience points. You got 10 billion experience points. Ding Dong, your level has reached the upper limit, and the experience points have overflowed. World announcement, Dragon Country player, Night Devil, successfully killed the legendary boss. As the first player in the world to kill the legendary boss, hereby rewarded, exquisite gift box, legendary, X1, reputation plus 100. Ding Dong, you triggered the 10,000-fold amplification system and got rewards, exquisite gift box, mythical, X1, reputation plus 100W. At this time, Stephanie's followers were all stunned. What happened? Didn't they want to join the other party before? Why did they suddenly attack? Moreover, this is a legendary boss. Killed instantly. At this time, Yifan had no time to check the rewards carefully. He continued to order the elves to attack the remaining 2 bosses. These 2 epic bosses have lower attributes and their health is about 20 million, however, seeing the miserable state of the legendary boss, he ran behind him without saying a word. They instantly hid among the troops. This is also the best way to avoid concentrated fire. Yifan's mouth curled up slightly. They naturally didn't know that the elves had the skill. Must hit, as long as it is within the range, it will definitely hit. He directly ordered the elves to focus on one of the bosses. Arrows flew all over the sky again. Suddenly, a boss was swallowed by countless arrows in his wide eyes. Ding dong, your troops killed, senior priest of the toxic temple, epic, and gained 10 million experience points. Ding dong, you triggered the 10,000 times amplification system and gained 100 billion experience points. You get 1 billion experience points. World announcement, Dragon Country player, Night Devil, successfully killed an epic boss. As the first player in the world to kill an epic boss, he is hereby rewarded with 1 exquisite gift box, epic, plus 10 reputation points. Ding dong, you triggered the 10,000 times amplification system, and received rewards, 1 exquisite gift box, legendary, plus 10 W reputation points, Chapter 18 Rich Rewards. February 5th, in just a moment, an epic boss fell. At this time, Yifan looked at the last boss. Damn it, that the boss was obviously shocked by the sudden situation. He quickly ordered the Legion to attack Yifan, and at the same time, he took out a bottle of potion from his hand and threw it hard on the ground. The dark green smoke instantly enveloped all the troops. Magical smoke, legendary. Description: the advanced smoke bomb from the toxic temple is extremely toxic, but it can provide high dodge for its own personnel. Effect: 1. The enemy receives 10,000 poison damage per second, and the poison will not dissipate on its own. 2. All friendly units gain plus 80% dodge rate. Section 22. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The boss actually threw out a bottle of legendary potion, which increased the dodge rate by 80%. His method was very appropriate. This was a great weapon for facing the flat attack type, but it still had no effect on Yifan. Must hit, ignores any state of the enemy. Even with a 100% dodge rate, it can still be hit. Without Yifan saying much, the elves attacked the boss again. Impossible. With a scream, the boss's body was instantly burned to ashes by the burning flames. Ding dong, your troops killed, senior priest of the poison temple, epic, and gained 10 million experience points. Ding dong, you triggered the 10,000-fold amplification system and gained 100 billion experience points. You got 1 billion experience points. The rumbling world announcement sounded again. The players were really confused this time. It was countless times more confused than before. Fuck, the first kills of the legendary and epic boss are gone. Who the hell can tell me what happened? Did Night Demon really cheat? Didn't they say that it takes at least 1,000 players to gather their forces to defeat an epic boss? Who the hell is Night Demon? At Night Demon, you're awesome. You made the foreigners dumbfounded, and just at this moment. World announcement, Eagle Country player, Eve, successfully killed a normal boss. As the first player in the world to kill a normal boss, hereby reward, equipment gift box, normal, X1, The world announcement sounded again, however, this time it only sounded once, and the sound was much smaller. Haha, Eagle Country killed a normal level boss. I'm dying of laughter. Can this trigger a world announcement? Everyone, I'm Night Devil. Eagle Country actually killed a normal level boss. I'm so jealous. I can only hold my legendary equipment to find comfort. Hee hee. Ha. Stealing bamboo shoots upstairs. What a pity, Night Devil could have taken the first kill of all levels. Hee hee, there's no need. We've got the legendary level, so the others are up to you. Eagle Country, a huge rhino slowly fell to the ground, raising a cloud of dust. The boss exploded with several pieces of equipment. However, the red-haired woman who killed the boss did not look happy at all. Her eyes were full of anger, and the corners of her delicate mouth were raised. Night Devil. How strong are you? I'm looking forward to your performance. At this time, Yifan was cleaning up the poisonous temple troops in the altar. It has to be said that the combination of the 7th and 8th levels still has a certain lethality. Of course, it refers to the goblins. The goblin miners soon suffered casualties, and various death prompts appeared in Yifan's ears. However, Yifan didn't feel bad at all. The opponent's troops fell in multiples. The elves continued to draw their bows and shoot arrows at a very fast speed. Every time an arrow was shot, the opponent would fall one by one. The flame archer was not short of AoE damage. It was less than half an hour, the battle was over, the entire temple was littered with corpses, most of which were the corpses of dark elves, the toxic temple. At least millions of troops died. Unfortunately, all of Yifan's unit levels were full. A large wave of experience points was wasted. However, Yifan didn't feel bad. After this battle, the number of goblins was only more than 8,000, but the experience points were full, and the level reached 40. At this time, Yifan came to the corpses of several bosses. After all, it was the first kill in the whole server, and it should be able to explode a lot of good things. Yifan certainly wanted to touch a wave of corpses. In an instant, the voice of the system sounded. Ding dong, you triggered the 10,000 times amplification system and obtained the loot, magical smoke, legendary, *1W. Ding dong, you triggered the 10,000 times amplification system and obtained the loot, poison staff, legendary. That the sound of the system continued in his ears. After a few seconds, Yifan opened his backpack and checked the harvest this time, magical smoke, legendary, 10,000 bottles, poison staff, legendary, shining arms pack, legendary, plague potion, quest item, several gift bags. The harvest was quite rich, many of them were legendary, which shocked Yifan a little. However, Yifan did not check their properties carefully at this time. This is not a place to stay for a long time. The toxic goddess should be busy attacking Stephanie's Kingdom of God and did not notice the situation here. Otherwise, if a god descended directly, Yifan would have to run away. No matter how strong he is not the opponent of the gods at this stage. Thinking of this, Yifan checked the mission items in his backpack. Plague potion, description, a prop used by the Toxic Legion to spread the plague, which contains a virus potion that can turn humans into zombies. Level 1. Grade, mission item. At this time, the system's voice also sounded. Ding dong, your mission, Source of Plague, has achieved the mission goal. It's really an SSS level mission. You actually need to kill a legendary boss to complete the mission. Mumbling slightly, Yifan prepared to leave the altar quickly with his troops. Section 23. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Vivian waved her hand gently, and the light gray mist appeared again. After a while, Yifan successfully reached the connection with the ground. He didn't plan to stay underground any longer. The nearby dark elves should have heard the previous battle. At this moment, the system's voice suddenly sounded. Ding dong, your mission, Saint in the Altar, has been completed. Ding dong, you have received the mission reward, gold coin plus 1W, Moon Dancer's Blessing, weak, Moon Knight Cloak, epic level. Ding dong, you triggered a 10,000 times increase and received the mission reward, gold coins plus 100 million, the supreme blessing of the Moon Dancer, the highest level, Moon God Cloak, legendary 3rd level, chapter 19. The Moon Dance Girl's supreme blessing. 3/5. A big question mark appeared in Yifan's heart. However, before he could think too much, the extremely cool feeling instantly penetrated his soul. Suddenly, his whole body was enveloped in a cool and holy light. After a few seconds, the light slowly disappeared, and a new skill appeared in Yifan's skill bar, the Moon Dancing Girl's Supreme Blessing, highest level. Description. Only those closest to the Moon Dancer can enjoy this blessing. In thousands of years, the Moon Dancing Maiden has never received this level of blessing. Effect. 1. With the highest authority of Moon Dance Church, all church troops will obey your orders. The loyalty and morale values of all church troops will be permanently full. 2. As the spokesperson of the Moon Dancer, every move you make in the world will represent the Moon Dancer. The attitude of other gods towards you may change. 3. At night, all your units have attack plus 100%, movement speed plus 100%, defense plus 100%, and attack speed plus 100%. 4. All units below the immortal level cannot view all information about your personal, hero, unit, and territory. Damn it! Seeing the additional skills in the skill bar, Yifan couldn't help but twitch the corners of his mouth. Although the properties are pretty good, as long as it is at night, the capabilities of the troops will be fully improved. But, the highest level blessing of a god is not just as simple as improving various attributes. This also means Mark's body is firmly marked with Stephanie's mark. Other gods can naturally see this kind of mark, but the result, they will take a detour. after all, he is already a believer of other gods, so why should he get close to them? Originally, if he only received a weak blessing, Yi Fan would only receive some attribute bonuses, but now, Yi Fan sighed, the problem is, Stephanie is a weakling. Am I being tricked by the 10,000-fold amplification system this time? There are many levels among gods, and Stephanie is the weakest among the weak in terms of strength and number of followers. Of course, the poison goddess is not much stronger, the two of them are just noobs pecking each other, but Yi Fan thought for a while. Anyway, he had never thought about which god he was attached to, so it didn't matter. At this time, he tried, Stephanie, can you hear me? No one answered. Yi Fan shook his head and looked at the more than 80 believers he had rescued. At this time, they looked at Yi Fan with piety and fanaticism. At this time, Mark had a strong aura of Stephanie on his body. Yi Fan found the saint who had spoken to him before and said, "Your name is Ina, right?" "Yes, Lord God Envoy." Ina nodded immediately. Yi Fan asked, "How many people are there in the temple?" Ina hesitated and said, "A month ago, the temple was attacked, and everyone was separated after that. There are only so many people I can still contact now." Yi Fan. Mark's mouth twitched again. Isn't this too weak? Yi Fan sighed, "All of you, please join my territory for the time being." Okay. Ina did not hesitate and agreed directly. At this time, the system's sound also rang. Ding dong, you successfully obtained, Moon Dance Saint Ina, S-level hero, Moon Dance Priest, 8th level, *82. Ding dong, you have unlocked a new building, Moon Dance Altar. Ding dong, you have received a new mission, Lost Believer. Ding dong, you have received a new task, Management of the Temple. Listening to the voice in his ears, Mark was quite satisfied. Unexpectedly, Ina would be an S-level hero. You know, her current strength is only gold level. This means that she has a lot of room for growth and can grow to at least the epic level in the future. At the same time, Yi Fan unlocked new buildings and received a lot of tasks. These are all daily tasks of the temple. It can be said that Yi Fan is now Stephanie's spokesperson in the main plane, and everything in the temple must naturally obey his arrangements. At this point, he opened the task list. Lost Believer. Mission description. The followers of Moon Dancer are lost. For the development of the temple and the safety of the goddess, you need to expand the number of followers. Nature of mission, limited character, night demon, mission difficulty. Mission content, recruit believers, task reward, none, temple management, task description, as the spokesperson of Moon Dance Girl, you can manage all matters of the temple. Task nature, limited role, night devil, task difficulty. Task content, manage the temple. Task reward, none. There is no reward for the two tasks. The reason is very simple. Yi Fan has been tied to Stephanie. As Moon Dance Temple grows, he will naturally rise with it. But Yi Fan directly closed the task interface. What a joke. Let yourself be a worker. Section 24. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Go to bed. After closing the task panel, Yi Fan marched directly to the ground. He could not stay underground for long. Half an hour later, through the narrow passage, Yi Fan finally returned to the ground. It was already night, and the sky was unusually clear and full of stars. The believers looked up at the sky, and they were a little stunned when they saw the unusually bright moon. They had not seen the moon for a long time. Yi Fan would not take care of their mood and ordered to continue the rapid march. Under the moonlight, Yi Fan moved faster. Soon, he returned to the base of the Church of Light. After entering the base, Olaide quickly came out. Night Devil Knight, how is the situation? The mission has been completed. I need to go to the temple in the main city. Yi Fan took out the mission items from his backpack. Olaide's eyes suddenly shrank, and then his expression became solemn. Yi Fan said in short, "Don't defend this stronghold, go back to the main city." Olaide nodded seriously. "Okay, don't worry. It seems that we need to launch a big war, that the poison church is very vengeful." Yi Fan destroyed their sacrificial activities and killed several senior priests. They will definitely retaliate. With only these hundreds of holy warriors, they are definitely not opponents. Olaide obviously knew this truth. He was also swift and decisive, and directly ordered the holy warriors to prepare to leave. When they return again, they will be the righteous army of the Church of Light. At this time, the system's late night also sounded in Yi Fan's ears. Ding dong, your mission, Source of Plague, has been completed. Ding dong, you get the mission rewards, gold coins plus 10,000, contribution value of the Church of Light plus 100,000, hero advancement stone *1, hammer of justice, epic level. Ding dong, you triggered the 10,000 times increase, and got the mission rewards, gold coins plus 100 million, contribution value of the Church of Light plus 1 billion, hero advancement stone *10,000, justice judgment, mythical level 1. Chapter 20, Counting and Receiving Goods, a Wave of Wealth. 4 out of 5, another wave of rewards, and listening to the voice of the system, Yi Fan was also a little confused. His attention was focused on the Hero Advancement Stone. Although there is only one word difference from the Hero Breakthrough Stone, the rarity of each other is a world apart. The effect of the Hero Advancement Stone is very simple, which can allow the hero to break through a level. This is the best of the best, and it is not inferior to the Immortal Artifact. With the Advancement Stone, the A-level hero can become S-level, and the S-level hero can break through to SS level. However, in Yi Fan's memory, until he died, that is, more than 10 years after the server was opened, in the entire Lord, there were only 2 Hero Advancement Stones. The rarity can be seen, however, Yi Fan now has a full 10,000 pieces. However, there is also a requirement for Hero Advancement Stones, that is, each hero can use a maximum of 2, otherwise, Yi Fan can really mass-produce SSS-level heroes. In addition, this time the contribution value was only increased by 1 billion points. Yi Fan was naturally not satisfied with this. To obtain a higher title, the contribution value required is an astronomical figure. However, he was not in a hurry. However, he was rewarded with another artifact. Counting all kinds of unopened gift boxes and boxes, Yi Fan couldn't remember how many top-quality equipment he had now. He had to count the goods carefully. Yi Fan led the troops to the territory and prepared to return. At the same time, he opened his backpack. This operation was very fruitful. In gold coins alone, we earned nearly 5 billion. If all of them were cashed out, they could be exchanged for 100 billion dragon coins according to the ratio. This number made Yi Fan a little surprised, but he also knew that it couldn't be calculated this way. The market demand for gold coins is limited. The more gold coins are sold, the lower the exchange ratio will be. However, it will never be less than 50 billion. Yi Fan has no intention of exchanging a large number of dragon coins for the time being, but plans to invest in the construction of the territory. Lord, if you start to burn money, it will be very fast. Secondly, there are all kinds of top-quality equipment. Moon Goddess Cloak. Description: a cloak from the Moon Goddess, said to be made of the coolest moonlight. Grade: Legend, Level 3, Type, Hero Equipment, Level, 20. Attributes, 0.1. Defense plus 2000, Movement Speed plus 100%, 2. Moon Hidden. At night, you can enter the invisible state, which cannot be discovered by units below the myth level. When attacking an enemy, the stealth state is invalid. 3. Moon Goddess Protection. When attacked, the attack is invalid. Cooldown time, 10 minutes. Poison Staff, Legendary Level 4. Description: a staff from the Poison Goddess. The staff core is made of tens of thousands of poisons. Rank: Legend, Level 4. Type: Hero Equipment, Level, 20. Attack: 35200-35800. Attributes, 0.1. Intelligence plus 2000, Spirit plus 2002. Magic attack plus 20%, 0.3. Poison Corrosion. All damage is fixed to poison attribute damage. Each attack will cause the enemy to enter the poison state, causing magic attack power *5 poison attribute damage per second, which lasts for 5 minutes. 4. Venom Field. Releases a terrifying poison within 500 yards of the target, causing all enemies to enter a poison state, causing poison damage equal to magic attack power *5 per second for 5 minutes. Justice Judgment, Mythical Level 1. Description: a special weapon from the God of Justice that can easily defeat evil. Rank: Mythical, Level 1. Type: Arms Equipment, Level 1. Attributes, 0.1. Arms attack plus 20%, 0.2. Justice Judgment. When attacking, there is a 5% chance of directly executing the enemy, which is ineffective against boss. 3. Flashing Lightning. when attacking, automatically releases arc lightning, causing 10,000 damage points to up to 9 enemies. Several pieces of equipment are all above the legendary level, which dazzled Yi Fan. Section 25. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In his previous life, when he got his first legendary piece of equipment, it was during a large-scale event a few years later. It's still street stall goods, the kind that everyone can redeem. The attributes are naturally terrible, but now, although these pieces of equipment are all low-level equipment, every attribute is explosive. Moon Cloak is a very special cloak equipment in Lord. The explosion rate of the cloak is very low, and this mythical level cloak is indeed a mythical level equipment, which increases a lot of defense and movement speed. You know, the average defense of 9th level troops is only 1,800 points, and Moon Cloak directly adds 2,000 points. After wearing it, soldiers below level 7 will definitely be unable to break through their defenses. The most outrageous thing is the third skill, directly immune to one attack. There are no restrictions in the description. Yi Fan doesn't know whether he can be immune to the attack of the immortal true god, but he was sure that the attack of the mythical powerhouse could definitely be defended. Poison Staff. Needless to say, this staff has explosive attributes and its output is maxed out. What's more, there are active AoE skills. The artifact, Justice, is an extremely rare military equipment. In Lord, units also have equipment slots. Arms equipment can provide attributes for the entire arm. Otherwise, in the later stage, everyone will be a high-level soldier and know their attributes clearly. Wouldn't it be boring? Arms and equipment provide players with the direction to cultivate their own unique troops. Military equipment can provide a lot of attribute values, so in the later stage, there are often big bosses pretending to be X and going out with tier 1 troops. As a result, Mengxin thought that he was really a novice. In fact, their level 1 troops are equipped with various equipment, and their attributes are no less than those of the mid-level troops. However, the explosion rate of military equipment is extremely low, let alone mythical level. The attributes of Justice are quite good. The attack is increased by 20%, which directly increases the overall output of the unit. Both skills are also quite effective. Justice Sanction provides 5% killing effect, although it was ineffective against the boss. In the later stages, the lords all used various human shield units, coupled with some military equipment that adds defense and resistance. It is simply a piece of meat. The beheading attribute, coupled with the real damage provided by the Heart of Killing, can undoubtedly solve them well. Sparkling Thunder is an even more terrifying AoE skill, directly gives the AoE ability to the troops. This piece of equipment still has a place even in the late game. Thinking of this, Yi Fan directly put Justice into the equipment column of the Fire Marksman. Suddenly, a small ball of thunder and lightning appeared on the huge long bow they were carrying behind them. If the elves were aware of it, they all cast grateful glances at Mark. Their starry eyes were full of autumn water, and they were obviously very satisfied with Mark's operation. In addition, there are a full 10,000 bottles of legendary artifact smoke. This thing can be used to advance, attack, retreat or defend. It can be said to be very useful. Next, there are a few gift boxes. Exquisite Gift Box, Legend, Exquisite Gift Box, Myth, Shining Troop Pack, Legendary. Chapter 21 SSS Level Hidden Profession. May 5th, gift boxes are something that players also love and hate. Gift boxes can only be exploded by the system. There is no other way to obtain them. There is no specified type of gift box, but it is possible to get military types, equipment, materials, etc. Generally speaking, gift boxes usually contain items of lower quality than gift boxes. For example, for a mythical gift box, the probability of opening an artifact is actually very low. Of course, Yi Fan's luck value is extremely high. He is also a European now, so he should be able to get a lot of good things. Yi Fan opened them one by one. Ding dong, you opened the Exquisite Gift Box, Legend, triggered a 10,000 times increase, and obtained the Sigh of the Goddess of Life, Legend Level 9. Ding dong, you opened the Exquisite Gift Box, Myth, triggered a 10,000 times increase, and obtained the Forbidden Mage Job Change Scroll, SSS. Ding dong, you opened the Sparkling Troop Pack, Legend, triggered a 10,000-fold increase, and obtained Sky Knights, Level 11, Recruitment Permission. Ding dong, you have unlocked a new building, Sky Knight's courtyard. That when the voice fell, Yi-Fan quickly checked his backpack. In the backpack, a crystal clear ring exudes a faint light, sigh of the goddess of life. Description: a ring made from the tears of the goddess of life, which contains part of her divine power. Grade: Legend, 9th level. Type: Hero equipment, Lords only. Level: 10. Attributes: when all units are killed in battle, they will be resurrected with full health and mana. This can be triggered at most once in 24 hours. Is this serious? That this is the first time Yi-Fan has seen the 9th level legendary equipment and equipment with special functions. I have to say, it's pretty perverted. All of Yi-Fan's units will have the ability to be reborn once within 24 hours. This means that there are always 2 lives to fight for 1 life. How to fight this? Without thinking too much, Yi-Fan directly equipped it. At this time, he took out a scroll that exuded a terrifying aura from his backpack. Forbidden Mage Job Transfer Scroll, SSS. Level 1. Rank, SSS, Unique Hidden, Effect, after use, transfer to the only hidden job, Forbidden Mage. Requirements: Mage type jobs above level 10. Hidden jobs, although rare, Yi-Fan has heard of many. But SSS level hidden jobs, he has never seen one. Without thinking too much, Yi-Fan's palm exerted a little force and crushed the scroll in his hand. In an instant, the dark shining lightning crackled, as if it was going to tear the entire space apart. Afterwards, it turned into a dark light and entered Yi-Fan's body. Ding dong, you have been transferred to Forbidden Mage, and the level cap has been opened. Section 26. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding dong, your growth has changed. The current growth is, plus 100 intelligence, 100 spirit, plus 50 strength, plus 50 physical strength, plus 50 agility, plus 100 free attribute points each time you upgrade. Ding dong, you have learned a new skill, Element Affinity, triggered a 10,000 times increase, and you have obtained the skill, Elemental Supreme. Ding dong, you have learned a new skill, Flame Power, triggered a 10,000 times increase, and you have obtained the skill, Flame Domination. At this time, Yi-Fan opened the skill panel and checked the skills he had just learned. Elemental Supreme, Level, Max, Effect. All units increase elemental damage by 100%, Proficiency, Max, Flame Domination, Level, 1. Effect, 0.1. After use, the attack of the designated soldier is fixed as a fire attribute attack, which lasts for 20 minutes, 2. When this type of soldier attacks, there is a 2% chance of causing an explosion effect to up to 10 enemies within 200 yards around, causing the character, Night Devil, Magic Attack *2 damage value, Consumption, 1000 magic points, Cooling time, 30 minutes, Proficiency, 0/1000. This professional skill is somewhat invincible. Seeing the 2 newly learned skills, Yi-Fan couldn't help but be a little surprised. First of all, it is the extremely abnormal professional growth. You know, even if ordinary players change their jobs, the growth per level is only 10 attribute points. This means that Yi-Fan's leveling up is equivalent to others leveling up dozens of levels, and the 2 skills are even more terrifying. The skills of percentage damage increase are extremely rare, and Elemental Supreme directly doubles all elemental damage. Moreover, Yi-Fan is not afraid that his troops have no elemental damage. Flame Domination can directly give them fire attribute attacks. It can also cause additional explosion AoE damage, and the value is related to Yi-Fan's own attributes. The stronger Yi-Fan is, the stronger the explosion effect. With this skill, even a very rubbish soldier will become extremely powerful. After counting the harvest, Yi-Fan could not see the attributes of the new soldier, so he had to continue to move forward to the territory. Soon, he returned to his territory. The moonlight in the sky poured down like water. However, the territory was almost full of various resources. Almost like a small mountain, Yi-Fan quickly built several large warehouses. Using the building acceleration card directly, then he commanded the goblins to move the resources in. Then, he built several large villas. In Lord, heroes, and troops need to rest. The rest of the troops is very simple. According to the setting, they will return to their recruitment buildings to replenish their physical strength. Heroes need special buildings. If they do not rest for a long time, they will lose morale and loyalty, or even defect directly. With Yi-Fan's resources, he will naturally provide them with the best conditions, arrangements for Dabii. Yifan pointed to a building not far away and said to Aina, "This is our territory. Go pick a room." Aina nodded and said, "Thank you, Lord." Her voice was still a little weak, probably because she couldn't contact Stephanie. She was about to go to rest after she finished speaking, but was stopped by Yifan. "Wait." Yifan took out the Hero Advancement Stone from his backpack. "Ding dong, you successfully used the Hero Advancement Stone on Moon Dance Saint Aina, and the grade grew to SS grade. Ding dong, you successfully used the Hero Advancement Stone on Moon Dance Saint Aina, and the grade grew to SSS grade." Using 2 advancement stones directly, Ina's grade was maxed out. At this time, a holy light fell from the sky and shone on Ina's body. Bathed in the bright moonlight, Ina slowly took off the cloak on her head. She has long silver hair as smooth as moonlight, delicate features, and a gentle and graceful aura. Compared with ordinary dark elves, her skin is more delicate. She looked at Yifan without blinking, her face slightly red. "Thank you, Lord." Yifan was also slightly surprised by her beautiful face. He nodded and checked her attributes. Aina, description, a dark elf from the dark region. Although young, her pure soul is loved by the Moon Dance Girl. She is the saint of the Moon Dance Girl. Occupation, Moon Dance Priest. Level 25. Grade, SSS level. HP, 25W. Magic, 30W. Physical/magic attack, 2600. Defense, 1200. Skills, 0.1. Moon Dance, LVLAX. Release inspiring dance music. Effect, all units within 2000 yards, attack plus 50%, movement speed plus 50%, attack speed plus 50%. The duration is unlimited, and Aina will be interrupted when attacked. 2. Moonlit Night, LV Max. Use powerful magic to turn the current time into a dark night under the moonlight. The range is related to the maximum magic value. Lasts for 30 minutes, cooldown time, 1 hour. 3. Moon Dance, LV1. Releases crescent-shaped magic energy, causing magic attack *10 damage to enemies in a straight line. 4. Protection of the Moon Dancer, LVMAX. At night, she automatically enters the stealth state. This skill is a divine skill granted by the Moon Dancer. Gods and units below low divine power cannot see it. The stealth state is invalid when attacking the enemy. Chapter 22. Upgrade the territory, new buildings. 1/5. Looking at Ina's attributes, Yifan was quite satisfied. She was not a hero summoned directly by Yifan, so her level was already 25. This means that in her first 25 levels, she only had the growth of an S-level hero, so, even though she was already at level 25, her attributes were completely crushed by Vivian at level 20. However, as her level increased, her attributes would still skyrocket. Several of her skills are also quite useful. The combination of skills can directly create a dark environment, and in the dark, Yifan will give the troops various attribute bonuses. The future is promising. This is Yifan's evaluation of her. At this time, Yifan was ready to start upgrading the level of the territory. Ding dong, you have consumed 10W of wood, stone, and iron ore to upgrade the Lord's Hall to level 11. Ding dong, you have consumed 20W of wood, stone, and iron ore to upgrade the Lord's Hall to level 12. Ding dong. Section 27. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding dong, you have consumed 100W of wood, stone, and iron ore to upgrade the Lord Hall to level 20. Ding dong, your Lord Hall has reached the upper limit of the level. Please complete Lord Mission 2 as soon as possible to unlock the level. The level of the territory has reached the upper limit again. Yifan opened the territory panel. Divine Domain, level 20. Guild, none, population, 10296/22000. Area, 7000 grids, expansion speed, 100 grids/day, city wall, none, buildings, Lord Hall, LV10, basic barracks, LV10, basic kitchen, LV10, flame shooting range, LV10, troops, 2000 flame shooters, level 10, 8214 goblin miners, level 4, 82 moon dance priests, level 8, defense facilities, none, resources, wood x 2 billion, stone x 14.3 billion, iron ore x 50.6 billion, food x 20.4 billion, gold x 4.9 billion. Resource point, gold coin resource point, epic, upgrade requirements, wood, stone, iron ore x 2 million, crystal x 1 million, complete, Lord mission 2, surrounding threats, none, the area of a level 20 territory is 3.5 times that of the previous one, reaching 7,000 grids. Yi Fan used the territory expansion accelerator, without hesitation. In this way, the area expanded by 1,000 squares every day. The population limit has reached 22,000, which is enough for now. At this time, Yi Fan checked the tasks of the second-level city lord. Lord Task 2, description, under your leadership, the territory is thriving, but to go further, you must be prepared, whether it is military force or defense. Mission difficulty, 500W. Mission content, Point 1. Kill gold level and above boss, 0/100, Point 2. Intermediate and above military force, 10296/20,000, Point 3. Defense score, 0/10W, mission deadline, none, mission reward, territory level unlock. 0.5 million difficulty. Yi Fan also felt a little speechless. Is the Lord task of SSS level talents so difficult? Several requirements of the task are extremely harsh. The first is to kill 100 gold level and above boss. Just this requirement is enough to scare off ordinary players. Low-level gold level bosses are hard to find. The second requirement is that players must have 20,000 or more mid-level soldiers, which is another problem for many players. The third requirement, 100,000 defense forces must at least surround a city wall of black iron level or above, and a gold level defense tower. In Lord players' territories can build city walls, various defense towers, and various defense facilities. If an ordinary lord encounters such a second-level task, he may be stuck here for life. Even professional players and high-level members of large guilds can only wait for the currency exchange to be opened, and then pay for it. Of course, these three requirements are not a problem for Yi Fan. At this time, he stroked his chin, his eyes thoughtful. It seems that I have to go to the Ice and Snow Dragon domain. Closing the panel of the territory, Yi Fan opened the building panel and began to build new unlocked buildings. A first-level lord has unlocked many new buildings. Trading house, forge, magic extractor, battle academy, basic training ground. The trading house allows players to trade, whether it is supplies, arms, or equipment. They can all be hung up. The forge can unlock the forging function. After the lord has the corresponding blueprint, he can forge equipment. The magic extractor is a building that generates magic. It can extract magic from crystals. Many buildings require magic power, such as the forge. If you want a fire at full power, consuming magic is essential. There are also many defense towers. If you open them, you need a lot of magic. The Battle Academy is a place to improve the skills of arms. It needs heroes to stay there and conduct research. The basic training ground, as long as you throw an arm into it, you can improve the experience of the arm, and it is an idle artifact. The Battle Academy and the basic training ground are both unique buildings, and only one can be built in a territory. Yi Fan used the building acceleration card to build all these buildings and upgraded them to the maximum level. There was a rumbling sound in the territory. It can be useless, but it can't be absent in the territory. After all were built, Yi Fan checked the trading house. At this time, the trading house was empty. The reason is also very simple. Now there is only Yi Fan, a first-level lord, and other players can't build a trading house at all. We have to find a way to speed up their progress. Yi Fan murmured, the forge and the magic extractor are of no use for the time being. Yi Fan has no equipment drawings and no crystals. Crystals are considered luxury resources in the Lost Continent. The system gives away basic resources, no crystals. At this time, Yi Fan's sight came to the Battle Academy, level 10. Current research skills, none. Resident heroes, none. Research method, to be determined. Yi Fan put the flame shooter into the building. Ding dong. The skill, burning flames, has been selected. Please select a permanent hero. The permanent hero is the hero responsible for researching skills. during the research period, the hero cannot leave the building. At this time, the system also pops up two options. Section 28. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 1. Shadow Princess Vivian. Research Efficiency, 105%.2. Moon Dance Saint Ina. Research Efficiency, 300%. That it seems that Ina is better at researching magic skills. Yifan naturally chose Ina, and there are two options for research methods: either research with all your strength or research when you have time. Yifan naturally chose the second one. At this stage, the damage is completely sufficient, and you can research skills when you have time. Basic Training Ground is also a very useful building, which is an important source of experience in the early stage. At this time, Yifan opened the page of the Basic Training Ground. Basic Training Ground, description: provide a place for simple training for the troops, and you may get some experience points. Level 10. Current training arms, none. Trainable troops, 0/20,000. Chapter 23. 11th level arms Sky Knight. 2/5. The full level, Basic Training Ground, can accommodate up to 20,000 troops for training. Going further up, you need to build the Advanced Training Ground, which is a building that only exists in the middle stage. At this time, Yifan's eyes were on the last two new buildings. Moon Dance Altar. Sky Knights. Moon Dance Altar is a place for sacrifice and prayer in the Moon Dance Temple. It has no effect except to make Ina and the others feel happier. After all, Yifan is not going to include his territory in Stephanie's church. He can't rely on anyone, even gods. What's more, Stephanie is a weakling. At this time, Yifan built an altar in a corner of the territory. However, the construction cost of the altar requires a full 10 million basic resources. Yifan could only complain and then looked at the Sky Knights. This is the top priority. Sky Knights. Yifan had never heard of any information about this type of soldier in his previous life. He directly dropped the Sky Knights and instantly upgraded to level 10. Sky Knight Academy, description: the training place for Sky Knights. Here, you not only need to learn combat skills and theories, but also various advanced knowledge. Level 10. Daily output, 0/2000. Production type, Sky Knight, 11th level. Production cost, 3,000 gold coins. Production time, 30 seconds. Upgrade required, full level. The daily recruitment limit of Sky Knights is also 2,000. Yifan directly maxed it out, and at the same time, used the card to speed up. Ding dong, you have consumed gold coins. *600W, recruiting, Sky Knights, *2000. As the system voice fell, countless tall figures suddenly appeared. Under the illumination of the bright moon, the tall figures of the Sky Knights were particularly conspicuous. The dark blue full-body armor reflected the cold light in the night, and seeing them, Yifan was also a little surprised, because the war horses under them are not ordinary war horses, although the height is the same as that of ordinary war horses. Half of their bodies are made of complex and cold machinery. The two eyes of the war horses are also full of electronic mechanical eyes. At this time, Yifan checked their attributes. Sky Knight, description: powerful knights from the third universe. Their homes have been completely destroyed by the invasion of mechanical disasters, and now they will be loyal to the new lord and try to take revenge. Level 1. Attack, 450-475. Defense, 220. Grade, 11th grade. Race, Cyborg. HP, 38,000. Skills, 0.1. Above the Sky, LVMAX. The Sky Knight's warhorse is made of the highest technology in the universe and can soar in the sky. Effect: the Sky Knight can fly and ignore any deceleration effect from the enemy. 2. Destruction Strike, LV1. Launch a charge and cause a terrifying attack on a single enemy. Effect: charge forward and cause attack *2 to 20, damage value. The farther the distance, the higher the damage. When the distance is greater than 300 yards, the damage reaches the maximum value. Cooling time, 5 minutes. 3. Sky Fury, LV1. Concentrate all energy in the spear, release all energy, and cause a terrible blow to the enemy. Effect: cause damage value of attack *20 to up to 200 enemies. After use, the warhorse will fall into a lost state and the movement speed will be reduced by 50% for 10 minutes. Cooling time, 30 minutes. Morale, max. Loyalty, max, food consumption, 1500/day. At this time, Yi-Fan has finished reading the attributes of the Sky Knight. He just thinks, a little too strong, compared with the Flame Archer, the attributes of the Sky Knight are more comprehensive. Even among the 11th level arms, they are also in the highest column, and they are flying arms. Among the lords, flying arms are naturally rare. A powerful lord naturally needs air power. Flying arms usually have extremely high mobility. It is equivalent to the cavalry in ancient times, and can complete many tasks that ground troops cannot complete. With Yi-Fan's rich experience in using troops, he can fully exert their maximum effectiveness, and the Sky Knight's skills are also very outrageous. Destruction Strike is a single target damage skill with extremely high damage value. If all knights charge, they can carry out precise strikes. Section 29. You are listening at novelfull.audio. And the Wrath of the Sky is a big move. The damage value is ridiculously high, and it is a large AoE skill. With the attributes of the Sky Knight, even in the late game, it is definitely a powerful unit. Yi-Fan didn't say much nonsense, directly used the unit refresh card, and then recruited 2000 Sky Knights. Then, he continued to recruit 2000 flame shooters. In this way, Yi-Fan currently has 4000 flame shooters and 4000 Sky Knights. Wait until tomorrow, and you can recruit such a large army again. This is definitely a terrifying force. Yi-Fan calculated the population and said, it seems that we have to deal with some of the goblin absentees. At this time, the system's voice suddenly rang. Ding dong, you have been online for 10 hours in a row, please log off in time to rest. Yi-Fan glanced at the real time. It was already 10 o'clock in the evening. He breathed a sigh of relief. If he didn't log off, he would be forced to log off by the system. He casually threw the newly recruited troops into the basic training camp, and then prepared to log off. Before logging off, Yi-Fan took a look along the territory. There are still novices protecting it. Before noon tomorrow, the territory is invincible, so there is no need to worry at all. Suddenly, Yi-Fan's sight stopped. A girl was bathing in the moonlight, quietly looking at the bright moon in the sky. It was Aina. Yi-Fan walked over and asked, why don't you go to rest? There was no smile on Ina's face, and she murmured, Lord, the goddess. Yi-Fan said, she will be fine. The poisonous goddess can't break her kingdom at all. It's not easy to break the kingdom of a god. Even if the poisonous goddess's strength increases several times, it is impossible. Moreover, don't think that Stephanie is easy to bully. Although she is a weak chicken, she also has allies. Hearing Yi-Fan's words, a reassuring smile appeared on Ina's cheek. Thank you, Lord. Rest early. Yes. After saying that, the girl walked towards her room. Just then, Yi-Fan turned his head and saw another slender figure. It was Vivian. She was no longer wearing the armor she wore during the battle, but a moon-white dress instead. The delicate and fine hem of the skirt extended all the way to her ankles, floating with the breeze. Vivian soon noticed Yi-Fan's sight. She turned around and smiled gently at Yi-Fan. Lord. Yi-Fan coughed dryly, and had to say that Vivian was so beautiful at this time that it was unfair. He said, Vivian, I'm going offline. You should go and rest too. Yes. Vivian walked towards him, and then whispered, Lord, these dark elves. Her words stopped abruptly, but Yi-Fan understood what she was going to say. Dark elves are notorious in the Lost Continent and have almost become the representative of evil. Vivian was naturally worried about them. Of course, she was not afraid that they would do something evil, but that they would harm Yi-Fan. Yi-Fan smiled and shook his head, saying, Don't worry, they are all Stephanie's most loyal believers. There is no problem. Dark elves are not without kind people. Vivian nodded slowly, but looked in the direction of Ina. Still with vigilance. Yi-Fan did not say much. This kind of problem would not exist if they spent more days together. He was about to log off, but suddenly, a faint fragrance came, and his face felt wet. Vivian gave Yi-Fan a good-night kiss. Good night, Lord. After saying that, Vivian turned and left, but Yi-Fan could see that her two white ears were completely red. Yi-Fan. This girl is too tempting, right? P.S. I'm a little stuck, headache. Also, this book has been confirmed to be a harem. Chapter 24. Start training workers. 3/5. Taking off the gaming helmet, Yi-Fan let out a long breath. He got up from the bed and stretched his stiff body. Now that, Lord, has not merged with reality, his body is still that of an ordinary human being, so he will naturally feel tired. Opening the refrigerator, Yifan took out a few slices of bread and simply filled his stomach. He took out his mobile phone and checked some information. There are still more than 30,000 dragon coins. It seems that I need to exchange some gold coins after the currency exchange is opened. Of course, Yifan only plans to exchange more than 100,000 dragon coins. He does not plan to exchange dragon coins on a large scale, which is tantamount to suicide. In this world, big guilds and big forces are not joking. If they exchange on a large scale, they can find Yifan's address through the network in minutes. Before the two worlds merge, Yifan can only keep a low profile in the real world. While eating bread, Yifan opened the Lord forum. The forum is officially built and players can speak freely in it. The name is the same as in the game, and everyone has only one account. So there are not as many water army and zombie accounts as on some blogs. It is extremely popular in the forum. The gold medal lecturer will lead you to fight the Lord, with golden weapons and iron horses, and brilliant style. Zhonghen Guild recruitment post, top 10 guilds in China. If you want to join, please post your information and rank. Thank you for your cooperation. Zhanhuan Guild recruitment post, welcome everyone to sign up. Masters, please chat in private for details. Generous treatment. AO Sure Guild, shout to YMO, our guild sincerely invites YMO to join. Annual salary starts from 10 million, and vice president treatment. Yifan saw the post of AO Sure Guild and spent a lot of money to pin the post to the top and add it to the featured posts. 10 million annual salary, vice president treatment. The players in the post are naturally envious and jealous, and they are all jealous. AO Sure Guild is one of the top 3 large guilds in Longwa. In reality, it has been financed by countless large groups and has dominated Longwa for decades. No matter what game it is, as long as it can make money, there is a shadow of AO Sure Guild. To become the vice president of such a large guild, in the eyes of countless players, it is already the peak of life. However, Yifan is dismissive. AO Sure. What? AO Sure, a typical guild operated by capital. They only care about profit and nothing else. Such a guild, is it worthy of calling out to me? 10 million annual salary is a joke in Yifan's eyes. He now has nearly 5 billion gold coins. Section 30. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yifan closed the post directly and continued browsing for a few minutes. Most of the posts are still discussing game content, such as how novices should survive the early stages, and many people are sharing the attributes of the units, but most of the guides are written in nonsense and are simply misleading to newbies. Some newbies follow the strategies of these masters and explode their troops at the beginning. As a result, there was simply not enough food, and all the troops starved to death. Yifan was also persecuted by these strategies in his previous life. He sighed silently, opened the document, and started writing the game guide. Improve the progress of players, of course, in order to make them better workers. Otherwise, Yifan wouldn't be able to sell the goblins tomorrow and would have to kill them. Yifan's target is not these players. They are no longer worthy of being Yifan's opponents. They are destined to be Yifan's tools. Half an hour later, Yifan completed the document. He only wrote piecemeal about some easy ways to obtain resources in the early stage, as well as relatively weak monster camps. There are also powerful troops that must be acquired in the early stage. He didn't hesitate and sent the post directly. As soon as the post came out, it was quickly discovered by sharp-eyed players. Beginner's early stage transition strategy. Who is so awesome and overly strategic in the early stage? Do you have a gold medal lecturer? With a name like this, who the hell would read this post? However, after just a second, countless people's eyes widened. The person who posted the post had 2 words written on his ID, Night Demon. No way, am I dazzled? Holy crap, the Night Demon boss sent out a guide. Everyone, don't bother grinding monsters, come and see the boss's strategy. Suddenly, countless people started at everyone in the group and posted links to the forum. The number of replies to the post instantly exceeded 10 million, the official administrator's eyes widened as well, and he quickly refined the post and pinned it to the top as a one-stop service. The Night Demon boss is really a god. How does he know that kobolds can be recruited by just throwing out food? TSK, I didn't expect that this kind of monster can actually fight like this. It can be defeated without any damage. My previous soldiers died in vain. The Night Demon boss is awesome, but the Night Demon boss said that he must take the 5 poison archer, among the troops in the early stage. Who among you has the attributes to give me Kong? Boss, I won't say much more, with this guide, I can reach the first level lord today. The boss is so selfless. It's really a blessing for our dragon country to publish this kind of strategy. I heard that Night Demon is going to sell the 4th level arms tomorrow. My turtles are selling all the 4th level arms. Are you crazy? Yifan ignored the various messages that popped up in the forum and turned off the computer. After washing briefly, Yifan fell into sleep. At the same time, among the lords, Rose Garden Territory, the owner of the territory is a woman with the ID name, Purple Rose. Qiangwei is one of the 3 major guilds in the Dragon Kingdom, and the owner of the guild, Zi Qiangwei, is also the president of a well-known beauty in China. At this time, she was talking to the higher-ups in the guild. Urgent notification to everyone online. We will gather all the gold coins we can. Those who are too far away will be left alone. The senior executives were shocked when they heard Zi Qiangwei's words. Originally, it was already past 10 o'clock in the evening, and some people had already gone offline to rest. Do you want to force everyone to go online now? You know, there is no means of transmission or method of gathering funds now, the only way is face-to-face transactions. This approach can easily reduce their favorability towards the guild. Someone asked, President, are you in such a hurry? Can't you do it tomorrow? Zi Qiangwei shook her head and said, I'm afraid it's too late. Someone couldn't help but ask, President, what are you going to do with the gold coins? The corners of Zi Qiangwei's lips raised slightly. Tomorrow, the Night Demon will auction the 4th level troops. We, Qiangwei, must capture them. Her beautiful eyes were shining with light, and she said eloquently, Night Demon, we have never heard of this character before. Since he wants to sell the 4th level arms, it means he is short of money. The 4th level troops are second. Our goal is to have a good relationship with him. This is the purpose of Purple Rose. As the president of a very large guild, she is extremely hungry for talents. The best way to win over someone is to do what they like. Of course, it would be best if you can win him over, but it's no problem if you can't win him over. Once the relationship is established, with Yifan's strength, there will definitely be no shortage of various high-end equipment and units in the future, if there were any. Special sales channels, wouldn't Qiangwei take off? You know, the true identity of Night Demon is currently the focus of attention all over the world. Countless guilds, forces, and even countries were dispatched, but nothing was achieved. A strong man of Yifan's level, at least, cannot make enemies. P.S. Feilu's comments now require manual review. It's not that I won't reply to everyone. Many comments will take a long time to be seen and may be swallowed by the system. The author is a part-time coder. I have very little rest time these days. I am dizzy and have made many mistakes. I apologize to everyone. I have modified all the problems reported by everyone. Thank you again for your keen eyes. Chapter 25 Selling 4th Level Troops, Crazy Dragon Country Players. April 5th. The same scene is not only seen in Qiangwei. All guilds found the strategy released by Yifan at the first time. While they were shocked, they also confirmed one piece of information, that is, Yifan is short of money. Otherwise, he would not make such a valuable strategy public, and it is free. In their view, publishing the strategy is just for the sentence at the end of the post. I will sell the 4th level troops tomorrow. The attributes are not bad. If you have a trading house, you can come and buy it. So, all guilds have formulated means to win over Yifan using money. Of course, Yifan didn't know all this. If he knew, he would definitely be amused and couldn't understand why they understood it this way. Time flies. When he woke up, the sky outside was already bright. Yifan got up, washed up, and went downstairs to the supermarket. He first simply filled his stomach at a street snack bar, then, he booked a game cabin. The game cabin is not only comfortable, but also can be added with nutrient solution.